Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. What is going on, Privy Gang? Guys, it is yours truly, Nathan Valle. I'm here with you for Deal Finding Friday. So, guys, without further ado, let's hop right in and see what deals we can get in as quick as possible. I like to try to do it in 30 minutes. I think we could find a deal and find a buyer in 30 minutes flat. So let me share my screen with you guys. If we don't do it today, I'm telling you, if you keep watching these Deal Finding Fridays, guys, we're like nipping at the heels on a lot of these. And one of these weeks, we're gonna get it. Done deal in 30 minutes. But first I gotta share my screen. All right. So guys, first and foremost, you know how we do things. We always start off with going to my email. Why? Because I used Privy, I set up my filters so that Privy does all the hard work for me and sends me deals every single day automatically. Right? So let's see what deals Privy sent me today. All right, let's start at the bottom. All right, a lot of these are in Tampa. I don't mind Tampa, but I really like Orlando. Let me just see if there's any that came in yesterday for Orlando. Yeah, where's that one? That's definitely a fixer-upper. That's it. Start at the bottom. Oh my gosh, all these deals. Mount Dora. Let's see. Popka, I think I've seen that property. Oh, here we go. Here's one for Orlando. Let's take a look at it. Already under contract. Yeah, 225. Good price. No doubt about it. Hillsboro, Tampa. I think all these are going to be Tampa. All right, let's go back. We're going to call in Tampa. All right, we'll start here. Click on the properties. Privy's going to bring them all up for me. And let's take a look at what Privy had. So we're looking for what is going to be a good opportunity for me to call on. Now this house, right, looks really good shape. I don't know Tampa as well as I know Orlando, but 200 for 2-1, 850 square feet, right? That doesn't seem like it's like a particularly good discount. Now this house, just the looks of it, looks like it could use some work. Just, oh man, look at this. All right, so this has to get finished. Perfect. Yeah, I like this a lot. Let's see what they have in the notes. Listed 25,000 under appraised value. To own this investment property, current investor did most of the major renovations, including new roof, new windows, new plumbing, new HVAC, and ductwork, new electrical wiring, circuit box, new wood, framing throughout. It's a great property. Finished, gain sweat equity. All right, awesome. Sold strictly as is, cash or hard money only. Love it. All right, we're going to call Alejandro here. Now, I'm also just going to take a real quick peek at, let's see what comps in the area are looking like. So I go to settings, keep that on any, I do all, hit save. And our property, it's a 5-bed, 2-bath. So it's on the bigger side. Let's get a little bit closer. What's stuff in this neighborhood going for? What's this thing? So that's a 2-1 that sold for 100 grand. Not really happy with that being right across the street. Reason being is if a 2-1, 1,300 square feet is selling directly across from our house, you know, yeah, our property's a lot bigger, but again, it gives you an idea of, hey, what kind of street is this? What kind of neighborhood is this in? You know, what are ARVs, you know, or what could something sell for here, even if it was fixed up nice? And I'm seeing a lot of stuff here in the low 300s. So 320, 320, 330, 339. And I'm just taking a quick peek. These are all 3.2s, right? This is a 3-bed, 4-bath. So even that sold for 340, right? And these are old. So, and the market has not necessarily been been favorable, right? It hasn't necessarily been going in a great direction. So buyers are likely going to be even a little bit more conservative. So let's give Alejandro a call and let's see what's going on with this deal. So I'm just going to copy his name and the brokerage. And guys, I'm just going to go right to Google. Boom, paste. All right, and let's see realtor.com. See if he's got his cell phone up here. He should. All right, or his home number. Either one, as long as he answers it, that is fine by me. All right, 813-933-0677.
Hello, and thank you for calling People's Choice Realty.
Ugh, not what we're looking for. Ugh, I hate office numbers. I don't know about you guys. Oh, I'm not a fan. All right, so direct here, but that looks like an office number. The 0677 was the number we just called. So let's try. Maybe we'll get lucky. Maybe this will go to a cell. 813 482 2700. All right, that's better.
Hello, it's Alex.
Hey, Alex, this is Nathan. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good, good. I was calling about the property. My guess is your phone's probably been melting about it. The one on North Warno. Am I saying that right?
Yeah. I put it out this morning. It is still available.
Awesome. Yeah, I was taking a quick peek at it. Really interested. I'm looking at it as a potential investment opportunity. Okay. I was wondering if you could tell me just a little bit about the property and I guess anything in particular that you think would be important for someone like me to know.
Yeah, I mean, it is a project that another investor was doing, and basically they ran out of money. The guy bought it for $120, and he invested $80,000 into the property. So it has a new roof. They put, I believe, plumbing, electric, air conditioning, and framing. All of that is already in place. He ran out of money, couldn't sell it, and then basically the bank foreclosed on him because he couldn't make the payments. Okay. And now the bank reached out to me, hey, we need to sell it. So now it is bank owned, and now we just put it up, for much less. We did an appraisal, which is an attachment under the MLS for $200. We got it, and then we're selling for $175.
Okay, got it. So this is bank owned.
It is bank owned, yes, sir.
Got it. So my guess is they're probably not going to really have any flexibility on price.
I mean, when the property went through the court steps, it goes public through the auction. I believe people bid it up to like 105, and they did not let it go for 105. Obviously, all this is cash. So
yep.
I'm thinking, for somebody to take it, it's going to be at least like 160, somewhere around there.
Got it. Okay. Yeah. And just what do you kind of think is the best? I mean, the neighborhood, the property a lot better than I do. What do you think the best use? Do you think it's fix it up and sell it as a new house, or do you think a rental property?
The project, if you can get the funds to finish it up, do the inside designs and obviously complete. The house with kitchen, bathrooms, everything else. I mean, that house in that area, I believe the initial investor was looking to sell it, like around the $350,000, range.
Got it. Okay. And ballpark, what are you thinking it would cost to kind of finish the project?
I'm thinking definitely with, depending on the contractors, but all the major tickets are done. So I would say maybe like, I don't know, 60, 75,000.
Got it. Okay. And are there any issues or anything that I need to know about as far as like permits or the work that he's already done to it?
I think the full permit for windows and roof and everything else. As far as I know, most of them are closed out. If not, obviously we'll have to work with the buyer and the city to get them closed out.
Got it. Okay. Okay, got it. And I think probably one of my last questions is I know you said 160 is probably right around where the bank would need to be at. If I were to take kind of a closer look and kind of crunch numbers on my end, I don't know exactly what I'd be able to pay just yet. I haven't really gotten to take a closer look at things. But if I'm gonna, if I come back and my offers, significantly lower than that, is that something? Do you think I should even bother? And
I mean, I will present it. And honestly, it will be their decision. I will present any offer that I receive, but I'm thinking, they do want to sell it, but obviously they don't want to, just give it away, though.
Yeah, 100%. Okay, well, Alejandro, I'll tell you what. Let me kind of take a closer look at things on my end, and if I think I'll be able to get to a price that's competitive, I'll give you a call back.
All right, thank you.
All right, thanks so much. Take care. Bye-bye. All right, so not really the conversation that I love to have. Reason being is because it's bank owned. So normally if it's bank owned, I almost immediately just hop off the phone. Reason being is because the bank, it rarely, in my experience, rarely do they budge on price, right? When he was like, they'll entertain at maybe 160, he's probably spot on. Usually the way the bank kind of works is they list it at the price that they pretty much want to get for it. And, if they don't hear anything or get any offers for 30, 60 days, then they'll drop it $5,000. And then another 30, 60, and drop it $5,000. And then they'll do that process. For the bank, for them, a lot of times it's not, sitting on the market isn't really an issue. And it's not like it's a normal seller, somebody that lives in the home or whatnot, to where we're able to have more flexibility with negotiating. So there's typically, in my experience, less of an opportunity to be able to negotiate and get things at a price. And this agent, he's probably the nicest agent I've spoke to that was working at bank-owned property. Most agents that are working bank-owned properties, they're just like, look, here it is. Do you want to walk it? If you want to make an offer, let me know. Otherwise, we can get off the phone, right? Because they know there's no point in really going back and forth. There's no negotiating, whatnot, and they're usually very blunt. But he was a super nice guy. So let's see if we can find a better one. Because I don't really, so 350 is what the guy would want to sell it for. Depends how nice you do it. I was looking at what's under contract, right? If we look at comps, there's one property in this neighborhood that sold for 368, and it was recently, but this property was built in 1957. Ours was built in 1908, and that's another thing to keep in mind is for rehab projects, guys, this is an old house. There's, it's literally 100 years old, right? So a lot of buyers won't touch houses this old. Now, the nice thing is that it's gutted. So there's hopefully not, and I am not a rehab expert, right? But a lot of guys will stay away from houses this old just because they're so old. They're like, we don't want to touch it because whenever you open up a wall or do this or that, they're like, it's all, you never know what's going to be wrong with it or how people did things and all this stuff. So not an ideal property. All right, let's find some better stuff to call on. Let's see. So again, when I'm looking at these properties, I'm looking for what has any indication of there being some type of motivation, right? This property at a quick glance, looks like this thing could use some work, right? That's an indicator of motivation. Some of these properties, right, this thing, you know, at a quick glance, doesn't look like there's much motivation. You know, same thing here. Looks like a nice house, nice picture. Let's take a look here. Now, the reason I clicked on this one was because the picture didn't look too great, right? It didn't look like a nice, edited, filtered picture. Could always be wrong, but let's take a closer look. Now, the one nice thing is this looks pretty empty and kind of a weird house, right? Like we got the Adams family hanging out in this living room. Let's see. All right. Let's look at the details. Welcome to this charming, blah, 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 blah. So what I'm looking for is I'm just trying to quickly skim through. Do I see any words that stand out, right? Do I see anything that jumps out at me like that says cash only or, you know, newly renovated, right? If it says, oh, entire house newly renovated, that tells me right off the bat, okay, probably not much motivation. They just did a bunch of work to it, right? But if I see, you know, great investment opportunity, right? Handyman special, fix and flipper's dream, right? Anything like that, then that gives me a really good indication that, hey, I'm the type of person that they're looking for. Now let me take a quick peek. So they're asking 330. I just want to take a real quick peek, and this is, oh, it's a 2-1. Ugh, I don't like 2-1s. Not a fan of 2-1s. Yeah, this thing. So it was listed 2 weeks ago. Now, I'll be honest. Just right off the bat, my guess is they probably, I think the agent was a little too ambitious with the list price. Because let's just, so this is what I love about Privy. So let's just look at all these solds and let's just sort and look by 2 bedrooms and sale price. So, okay, this one sold for 329. You know, let's take a peek at what that looks like. And if I zoom out, let's see, does it pop out anywheres? I want to see how close this is to mine. Because if it's a totally, all right, so this one, I think it's up here. Yeah. So this is 2/1/1950. All right, sold about a month and a half ago. Not too crazy. All right, looks clean. I wonder if this was a rental property or an investor. Let's take a quick peek. So go down here, go to property history. Let's see, the seller, right, came out of trust, buyer, family looking to live in it. All right, I'll tell you what, we'll call the agent. Probably not going to be too much motivation, but that's all right. We're going to call him. We're going to see anyways. So let's call let's call him up. All right, again, we're going to copy and paste. All right, Angel. Business Mobile. All right, let's call up Angel here. 516-7278. All right. Let's see what we got.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic.
Oh, we're going to call her again.
Your call has been forwarded.
No. All right. That is fine. So what I would have done if Angel here had picked up the phone. So first off, what I typically do is I would leave a voicemail. So I call twice. I don't call 3 times. Honestly, I just think 3 is a bit much. 2 is good enough. And if they have their phone on do not disturb, the second call will push through. What I do is I call twice. If they don't pick up the second time, I will leave a voicemail and send a text message. So what I typically would do is I would leave a voicemail and say, hey, Angel, this is Nathan. I was calling about a listing that I saw of yours. Really interested in it. If you could, please give me a call back as soon as you can. Thanks. Bye-bye. All right, just like that. And then I would also immediately send a text message saying, hey, Angel, just left you a voicemail. Was calling about a listing of yours. Is there a time today you can chat? Right? Is there a time today you can chat? So what are we doing? So when she looks at her phone, she's going to have 2 missed calls, 1 voicemail, 1 text message, right? 4 notifications total. So, and guys, that's what, when we're looking for deals and you're actively working the market, you got to be assertive, right? And then on top of that, if this was a deal that I really wanted to follow up on, I would also call in the afternoon. Well, it's already the afternoon, but I would call in a couple hours. So right now it's almost 1 o'clock by me. I would call again at like 3 o'clock, right? I'd wait maybe an hour, 2 hours, depends on the deal, but being really assertive goes a long ways. And then once I call her, right? If you guys have been watching any of the Deal Finding Fridays that I do, I've kind of got this process that I go through, right? The same thing every time. When I talk with an agent and I call on a listed property, I start off the same way every single time. Hey, I was calling about your listing on East Hannah Ave. And I was looking at it as a potential investment opportunity. And I was wondering if you could tell me a little bit about the property and anything in particular that you think would be important for someone like me to know. Really easy way to start the conversation. Now, the reason why we do that, I always cringe when I see people do this. I never, whether I'm talking to a seller, an agent, whoever, I never use the phrase, oh, yeah, I was looking at this as a potential fix and flip. Yeah, I was looking at this as I was looking at to hopefully do a quick flip with this property, right? Nobody likes hearing that, right? Imagine if you're selling your car or whatever, right? Or your house, and someone calls, oh, yeah. Hey, I was calling about your car that you have listed for sale here. Yeah, I was looking to do a quick flip with it. Well, could you tell me a little bit about it? Right? Just initially you're like, oh, well, this person, they're going to try to hustle me down and they're just trying to make a quick buck for themselves. But when we say, hey, I'm looking at this as a potential investment opportunity, it's a lot softer language, right? It gives a totally different picture. And then again, when we're asking, hey, and could you tell me anything about the property, anything that you think would be important for someone like me to know? I want to leave it broad. I want to leave it really open so that she can give me as much information as possible, right? Because depending on who you're with, and guys, one of the most important things I can give you when it comes to sales and negotiation is the power of silence, right? Just be quiet and listen. Let them speak. Don't interrupt them. Don't break the flow. Because depending on who you're chatting with, guys, they'll give you all types of information, right? They will tell you stuff about the property. They'll tell you, what offers they have. They'll tell you about the personal drama going on with the family and this and that. Guys, depending on who you're talking with, sometimes they'll tell you all sorts of stuff. So leave it open because all that information is helpful for you, right? If we're able to see all the cards on the table, it makes it a lot easier for us to present the best solution for them, right? And also to see, hey, how much leverage is there? How much motivation is there? What price can we really make work? And then again, one of the things when we talk about price, one of the things I love to do is I will always ask, hey, I see you got it listed here for $330. obviously, you want to get, obviously the sellers want to get as much as they possibly can for it. Totally understand. But, realistically, where do you think they really need to be at in order for an offer to make sense for them? I'll say it just like that, right? And again, I'm not asking in the way of, hey, what's the lowest you would take? Right? Again, that doesn't have the best feeling. So, hey, what's realistically, where do they need to be at in order for an offer to make sense? Now, there can come a point to where, hey, what's the lowest they'll take? There is a point to where throwing that out there can make sense, but I don't like to do that. Not early on, not on the first call, right? I haven't built up enough rapport yet to be able to kind of say a hard hitting line like that, right? And then once they give me that number, right? So if I were to say, hey, realistically, where do you think they'd need to be at? And if the agent were to say, it's listed for 330, but if they could get an all cash offer at 300, that would work for them. And then again, no matter what they say, even if it's a price that's able to work for me, I always follow that up with, okay, got it. 300, that's the number to get. Totally understand. Now, let me ask you this. I haven't had a chance to really look at things on my end and crunch numbers and see where I would really need to be at. But if I take a look later this afternoon, and if for whatever reason, my offer is, lower than that 300 number, right? Or significantly lower, do you still want me to call you back and let you know where the offer would be at, or should I not even bother? Right? I'm saying, hey, if my price is lower than what you say the lowest price they'll take is, right? If my offer is lower than that, do you still want me to call back, or should I just not even bother? Now, here's where you're able to really gauge motivation. A lot of people will, kind of Alejandro in that previous call, it was a little bit different, right? Because it's with the bank, and for him, he's like, yeah, hey, just make the offer and, I could submit it. They say yes, they say yes, they say no, they say no. That's typically how banks work. But with when they're working with a real seller, right, the agent will let you know right off the bat. If they won't take less than 300, most agents will be like, oh, no, honestly, no, don't even bother. Like, I know they're firm at 300 and they won't budge at all. Okay, got it. Right? But if the agent responds with, well, I mean, yeah, no, definitely call me back. Still want to hear the offer. And at least know what it is. So yeah, whatever you come back with, definitely give me a call. If they say something like that, right, then there's a pretty good chance that they would entertain something lower than what the agent said their lowest price is, right? Or that at least lets me know, okay, there's motivation here to work with. So just a couple tips for you guys. Hopefully next week we'll be able to have some better conversations and kind of get into more of the nitty gritty with the agents. But I hope this was helpful. And guys, this was Deal Finding Friday. Until next time, I hope you guys have an amazing weekend. Take care. Be safe. I'll see you guys soon. Take care, guys.